Morning class, so I have here a picture of a famous painting called Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. So, anyone who can describe the painting, share your thoughts and feelings about it? Yes, very good. Okay, without the use of paint or brush, what do you think you have done with just describing the painting? Correct. We can create a literary work by just describing the painting using words. Poets are just like painters because they paint using words. Since the output of painters are paintings, how about the outputs of poets? Poems. And what category does it belong to? Poetry. Very good. On our last meeting, I asked you to download the application Poet Assistant. Just to give you a quick background, Poet Assistant is an application with a set of offline tools to help you with writing poems. It has dictionary, words and definitions, rhyming dictionary, thesaurus, and a text-to-speech option to read aloud your poems. You'll be needing this later on, so let's go back to our topic about poetry. Poetry is a form of literature that uses aesthetic and rhythmic qualities of language. It is an expression of ideas written in words using the sense of imagination. In poetry, we use different kinds of figurative devices. So what is a figure of speech, class? The figure of speech is a phrase or word used in a non-literal sense for rhetorical or rich effect. It is used to express a meaning other than the literal meaning. Next is the different types of figure of speech. First, metaphor. A metaphor is a figure of speech that compares two different things without the use of the terms like or as. For example, this house is a zoo compared to zoo in terms of noise and not because the house is a shelter for animals. Next is simile. A simile is a figure of speech in which two things are directly compared. We use the word like or as to make the comparison. For example, as dark as the night, it like a horse. Next is personification. Personification is giving human qualities to something that may not be human or even alive. For example, the flowers nodded their head cheerfully. In this example, the flowers were given human quality, and this is nodding their head. Next is hyperbole. Hyperbole means using exaggerated statements for effect. For example, I am so hungry I could eat a horse. Hunger is over-exaggerated because it is almost impossible that you could eat a horse. Next is onomatopoeia. This is a word that just means words that imitate sounds. For example, pitter patter. It mimics the sounds of rain or maybe little feet. Next is oxymoron. An oxymoron brings two conflicting ideas together. For example, alone, together, bitter, sweet, living, dead. Next is a paradox. It's a statement containing two opposing facts that seems impossible, contradictory, or absurd, but might turn out to be true. For example, I must be cruel only to be kind. In here, the first clause, I must be cruel, is contradicting to the second clause, only to be kind. Next is alliteration. Alliteration is a figure of speech in which two usually consecutive words begin with the same consonant sound but not always the same letter. For example, in the sentence, she sells seashells on the seashore, the S sound is repeated. Next is euphemism. A euphemism is an indirect or innocuous word or phrase use instead of something considered unpleasant, harsh, or sensitive, or embarrassing. For example, we use senior citizen instead of saying old person. For your first activity, you will be playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Language Learners Edition. You will be divided into two groups, A and B, and each group will have to collaborate in answering the questions. The winning group will be given additional points later on. So, are you ready? Let's start! Congratulations Group A for winning this activity. For your next activity, each group should create a 2 stanza poem based on this picture. Afterwards, one representative should present the poem in front. Well done, Cass, for sharing such wonderful poems. So, did you enjoy the activity? Any questions about the lesson? What is poetry again? What are the different types of figure of speech? Yes, very good. So, what do you think is the importance of poetry? Yes? Add some more? Yes, very good. Poetry is important because we use it to express our feelings, ideas, and emotions. To test your knowledge, here is a short exercise. Write your answers in a one-off sheet of paper and pass your papers in front when you're done. For your assignment, with the help of Poet Assistant, create a 2 to 3 stanza poem using the different figurative devices. The output should be in a print and digital format. You can use any photo editor to edit your background template. The printed copy should be submitted to me, and the digital copy should be uploaded in our Facebook group. Is there any questions? If none, that's it for today. See you in our next meeting. Goodbye, class.